Well, the question is when to use a formal decision process or a gut feeling. As a CEO, you are often faced with making decisions. It happens on a daily basis. You never know often when you're going to have to make a decision, and it happens very often. And the consequences can be quite serious if you get that decision wrong. So it's a good idea to know when you're going into a decision-making process and what type of process you will use. Quickly touch on the formal decision process. There's multiple steps. First of all, identifying the decision that needs to be made. Let's say, for example, we've just run a marketing campaign and we need to know what steps to take next. Identify, the results and gather information. So how many people, bought the product and, where were they navigating to and from? How many people went from the email campaign versus other things? Looking at alternatives. So perhaps we haven't got the results we needed and we needed to explore some ways of improving. So it might be the website, it might be the email campaign. We can analyze those, put some options on the table, and then do some kind of Edison style decision analysis where you have the positives, negatives, and commentary or interest points, and then make a decision that way. It doesn't really have a number. You can put weighted scores and do that sorts of things, but I think it can help to illustrate to a team, a collective process, and then as a team make a decision in that case. Sometimes it's even easier than that because you can make a definite decision where there is real data points, but with limited data, that kind of process works quite well. That's great for team. It's great when you have the data. What about when you don't have data? Well, there's two times when we find that we don't have that sort of data, at least in my experience. One is where you just don't have any data. You do not have any data whatsoever. We'll talk about that. And the second one is dealing with people, and perhaps in a hiring process. Sometimes you just can't get enough data, real data on that person to make a good decision. And that really then requires some kind of gut feeling. Maybe making a strategic decision. That's a lot more difficult with gut feeling, but it can be fruitful, especially if you've got a long history in a particular field. For example, we have a long history in AI vision, in cameras and technology. So it gives us some kind of gut feeling about what's going to happen next. I believe AI vision is going to be the future. I've got some data points around where the technology is going and why it's going that way. And I've got other videos on that you can have a look at. And then the other really important area is dealing with people. And this is where I've been very, very successful and getting more successful over the years. I think because one of the advantages of having a few years behind you is that you have some more intuition about people. And it can't necessarily be described. It's like the classic neural network. You don't necessarily know what is happening inside your head, and you cannot sometimes describe it. But I've had situations where I get a gut feeling about something or somebody, and then I can start to run with that feeling and see. So I've been very successful in bringing some people on. One of my guys has been with me for 8 years, absolutely fabulous. As soon as we met, I knew he was the right guy, and literally within 5 minutes I was sold, and I've nurtured that relationship now for 8 years. And that gut feeling that I had in those first few minutes didn't let me down. And that's happened again most recently in the last couple of years. People have come to me and have just been the right fit for us. And I knew that very, very quickly and didn't need to do a lot of checking. Ran with the gut feeling and then put some more data behind that to make sure, there's a police record that was clear and those sorts of things. So those are the two cases when I don't have enough data, right? I use my gut feeling and I try to stay in my wheelhouse, in my area, my domain. Then I use my gut feel. And then with people, I also use my gut feel as the primary thing and then follow up with data. All right, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.